Well, we've come to the end of OTAs a week early this time. We would usually have another week, but because of the Hall of Fame game, we are going to end a little bit early. But if you think about it, it's kind of an even trade-off because we get an extra preseason game. We get to see our fellas in legit action. And before we know it, training camp will be here. I don't know about you, but the offseason wasn't as quick as the 2024 offseason heading into last year after coming off that NFC Championship game, but it wasn't uber slow either. So it was kind of, I would say in the scale, if last year was kind of like a speed factor of 10, this one was like maybe a 7.5 or 8. We are here June, blink our eye, and we will have training camp dates and have fun getting tickets to those. Shout out to the VIP section as well. If you're watching this, man, I wouldn't mind another VIP section pass as well. But shout out to all the people in the comment section and the viewers. But today we're going to look at Tim Twentyman and his final OTA observations before we move on to the official start of the preseason. Here's what he had to say. Says defense ahead early. That's a good sign. Lions head coach Dan Campbell said Thursday, the defense has been a little bit ahead of the offense so far in OTAs. That's to be expected with so much more continuity returning on that side of the ball, with Kelvin Shepard having been in the building and in the meeting room the last 2 seasons. It's mostly a veteran defense in Detroit, too. Returning 10 starters from last season, the defense has looked pretty good throughout OTAs. We'll see if that continues heading into training camp. And that's one of the things that I'm going to take anything we hear coming from the defense. And this is coming from DetroitLions.com. Anything we hear about the defense, I'm literally going to take with a grain of salt until we at least have joint practices. And we know we have them against the Miami Dolphins and another team as well that's escaping me at the moment. We've seen this before. These guys know each other like the back of their hand. Our defense has to take a colossal step in order if we're going to go all the way. So I'm glad that they got the one up so far, but we'll see when we get to legit kind of opposition. And even though, because remember a couple years ago, it was some back and forth. We heard that this team won this day, and then we came back and won the next day. And I would love to be at a couple of those practices. As a matter of fact, if there's a practice on the road, I might try to go to that, like real talk. So we'll see how that goes. But I've specifically been talking about how Jahmyr Gibbs is just something about him. I know it's a number change, went from 26 to 0, but he looks fresh. He looks spry. He looks like he went back in time, and he looks good. What did Tim Twentyman had to say about him? Says, advantage Gibbs. Campbell talked a little bit about John Morton's offense before practice and how Morton is really focused on isolating certain players, with the focal point this spring being on wide receiver Jameson Williams and running back Jahmyr Gibbs and tight end Sam Laporta. Now, if you notice, they've been getting a lot of work in training camp. No St. Brown had a cleanup procedure on his knee. No Isaac Tesla. We didn't get anything with him at all. So it seemed like that they were focusing on the receiver, specifically Jameson Williams. I said that he was getting a lot of work. And you'll notice something else that I just thought about. We talk about Benedict Johnson a whole lot. I don't think that Morton is going to get away from what's working. Well, we'll talk about him another day. Says, in one team period Thursday, Gibbs found himself isolated in space against rookie edge rusher Ahmad Hassanin. That is certainly advantage Gibbs and the offense. Absolutely it is. Gibbs is a disadvantage to anybody, 100%, because Gibbs is that guy, and I expect him this time next year to be the highest paid running back in the National Football League. Brad could wait till after year 4, but Jahmyr Gibbs is about to break the bank this time next year. Cannot wait to see him on the field. But we got an update about Malcolm Rodriguez and how long he'll be out. Says veteran linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez tore his ACL last November, and Campbell said Thursday a conservative time frame for him to return to action will be sometime this November. That kind of sucks because that's the same thing with Aleem McNeil. He's looking at a mid to late season return. The Lions view Rodriguez as a 4 starter, and not having him for the first couple of months of the season will be a blow to Detroit's linebacker depth and special teams. You know what else is jacked up? Is 2 things. 1, he's on his last year. he's on a contract year and he's only going to be able to play half the season. I do believe that Brad and Dan are going to sign him regardless of whether he performs when he comes back. I mean, even if I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff, but even if he has a rough start, I think they're going to, if they did it to Derek Barnes in a contract year, they're going to do it to Malcolm Rodriguez as well. But what about Alex Anzalone? Still no word from him, very quiet. And you got Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell, and Alex Anzalone, with Rodriguez being out for quite some time. I expect that to be, we're probably going to get something done as the offseason, as OTAs are done, and we're waiting on training camp. So again, this is the last day of OTA. We feel a bit robbed because now's that time where there's nothing to talk about. I went back in my archives and I looked and I said, okay, Derek, what did you have to talk about last year? Well, check this out. This time, OTAs went a week later because we had a third week, and typically we would have a third week in the second week in June, but that's gone because we got that week on the back end of July because of the extra preseason game. So I looked and we signed Jake Bates after the final OTA, but before the training camp dates were announced, which was basically a solid week in between there. Isaiah Buggs wind up getting arrested and the training camp dates were announced. That's pretty much all we did. There's probably not going to be much to talk about. I'm sure we'll find something when the time arises, but we are off to the preseason. Now, I do expect, I think what we can look for probably before we get any before the Lions return, I think what we can look for is a few things. I think there'll be some movement from Matthew Judon, Von Miller, and Zadarius Smith. I don't know who winds up, if any of those guys come back. I would love to see Big Z come back. Another thing to keep an eye on is the Trey Hendrickson situation. I don't know, man. I feel like that could also be resolved before the start of training camp because pretty much we all start at the same time. We're probably going to start a little bit earlier along with the Chargers because of our game. And maybe we snag somebody from the UFL because their season will be over in about 10 days or so. So it's not going to be a lot coming out, but we've done this before. This is now year 4 on Lions Syndicate, and we have been down this road, so we already know what's up. The countdown to camp is going to continue. That is when I watch the previous games for the Detroit Lions. We start in week 1 all the way up to their final game of the season. That is going to go on Lions Syndicate Film Room. So if you want to watch that, go over there and subscribe to that channel. That channel will make a return as the season gets closer. We also have Syndicate Sports Detroit. That will be making a return as well. This is my first year doing it full time. So I'm trying to get a schedule down and figure out when I can make content on what channel so I can get the well-oiled machine. This channel is pretty much a well-oiled machine, but I am one man with many different heads. I am everywhere, man. I have so many different channels that I have one that I'm not even making content on that I'm thinking about trying to bring that back as the games come back this season. It depends on what YouTube wants to do as far as hiding my streams and such. I do kind of miss that. So that's the update. Last OTA day. And it's like bittersweet, man. Bittersweet. But again, I don't feel as sad as I did last final OTA. I think I'm looking forward to kind of the break. I am. And getting my shop together, the merchandise that is going to launch July 1st. Members will get probably early access. And my director members, I'm going to try to do something special for you guys. So let me know in the comments below, what are you most looking forward to with the Detroit Lions as we approach the start of the preseason, and what do you plan to do this summer? I'm going to work extremely hard this NFL season that next year I take an official break from the last OTA day to the start of training camp, because most of the beat reporters, the people in the building, I mean, Jared Goff is probably going to have a baby in between now and when he returns for training camp, but most of the beat writers, everybody's gone. Everybody's on vacation. It's so bad. We have to like dig in the recesses. This is the worst time to be a Lions content creator. It really is, man. So anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Yesterday, for the OTA video, I hit the wrong button. Instead of end record, or instead of the button to cue the outro, I hit end record. So that's why I just disappeared. All right, I'll see y'all soon, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. I really do. I really do, man. We've been doing this a long time, and we got a lot of more left.